Well, that was gruesome, even for a cartoon. Hello, Internet. We're back again this week talking about Futurama with Season 12, Episode 2, Quids Game. It's a significant improvement over the One Amigo and most to all of Season 11, and features a Squid Game parody interspersed with flashbacks of Fry's childhood. Although it narrowly misses the heights of the best episodes about Fry's past like Jurassic Park.
I'll never forget him, but he forgot me a long, long time ago.
Game of Tones.
Mom, there's so much I need to say.
Or, of course, Luck of the Fryrish.
Here lies Philip J. Fry, named for his uncle, to carry on his spirit.
It's not that far off the mark. So let's get into it. Spoilers beyond this point.
All I want is to enjoy the quiet desolation of space for a few peaceful hours.
The episode starts with a surprise party for a melancholy Fry aboard the Planet Express ship. But it's interrupted when they're drawn into an anomaly and crash on a desolate planet that's empty, except for a replica of Fry's childhood home.
There's literally nothing here, except that tasteless suburban teardown.
That's the tasteless suburban teardown I grew up in!
What ensues is a Squid Game-inspired horror show as mysterious pink aliens use their superior technology to force everyone to reenact twisted versions of the games from Fry's 8th birthday party, while the original party unfolds in flashbacks alongside it. And the games are now, of course, to the death! The 1983 storyline starts with a flashback of a sad little Fry before the party, nervous that he'll lose at the games and embarrass himself.
It's just, I'm not very good at games, Dad. I don't want to lose on my birthday.
His dad doesn't do much to reassure him.
Not everything in life is about winning, but most things are. Almost everything.
The guests arrive, including Josh Gedgie, Fry's rival from Cold Warriors.
But that's my idea. You are an evil, evil nerd.
Who's now his best friend.
High five, best bud.
Oh, so close.
In both timelines, the games start with
The classic yet copyright-free game, Barrel of Primates.
legally distinct from Barrel of Monkeys, of course.
We resemble but are legally distinct from the Lollipop Guild.
Little Fry wins the game,
Superior dexterity will...
I wanted something?
and seems delighted, and Gedgie takes it in stride.
Nice job, Phil, but I'll get you next time.
That never gets old.
In the adult timeline, the characters are the primates, dangling on a trapeze over a vat of deadly alkaline liquid. Bender tries to cheat,
Or we could shake the other team's bar and make those losers fall first.
but Fry discourages it.
Cut it out, Bender. Cheating is against the rules.
Their team wins anyway,
Known as a catenary. Damn, my dribbling and differentiating arm.
and the team made up of entirely side characters is dissolved. Literally. I won't go through each game in detail, but there's blowing out birthday candles, which really isn't a game, but okay. Musical chairs, a piñata, and a hunt for hidden baseballs. In the childhood timeline, Fry wins all of the games as his friends, especially Gedgie, become more and more convinced that he's cheating with each win.
Fry must be cheating. That would explain why he's winning everything.
In the deadly, twisted future versions of the games, Fry consistently manages to avoid dying as Bender also grows increasingly suspicious that he's cheating,
That was some impressive reverse cheating, Fry.
which upsets him,
For the last time, I'm not a cheater.
but he is playing honestly. Until the baseball hunt, where Leela begs him to cheat to save her,
Please, Fry. I know you don't want to cheat, but it's me, Leela.
and he finally does.
I've never cheated in my life. Never. But I'll do it. This once.
Only for the aliens to switcheroo the rules
Winners, step forward. You're not the winners. Who said you were the winners?
and kill her anyways. If we didn't know everyone would be alive by the end of the episode, it would be genuinely upsetting. All the deaths throughout the episode are pretty gruesome and horrible,
Like candy. Oh.
so props to the animators for that. Both stories come to a head with Pin the Tail on the Donkey. In 1983, Fry tries to throw the game to prove that he isn't cheating.
Beat that, Oreo cheat wagon.
How's this for cheating?
And is baffled when he still wins.
Oh well, I guess you can't win them. Oh?
His friends aren't impressed, and as soon as his family leaves the room, they walk out, and Geji ends their friendship.
I hope you had fun cheating, because nobody else did.
Poor, distraught Fry watches them go, insisting to the empty room that he didn't cheat.
But I didn't cheat!
In the future, he asks the aliens to remove his eyes to prove he isn't cheating.
I'm gonna prove I'm not cheating. Gouge out my eyes!
While they try to pin the tail on an armored, people-eating donkey. He and Bender do make up.
I'm sorry I called you a cheater, buddy.
Thanks, Bender.
And so they team up.
Friends to the end.
But then Fry accidentally pins him, killing him. But not before he calls Fry a cheater one last time.
You are a cheater.
It seems like Fry's won the whole shebang when Hattie McDougal emerges from the donkey's mouth and stabs a distracted Fry and the donkey. Satisfied, the aliens resurrect everyone.
How the schmeck are we alive?
The machine can easily bring people back to life.
And Fry's friends reassure him they know he's not a cheater.
All I ever wanted was for people to believe I'm not a cheater.
We believe you, Fry.
And everything is wrapped up in a happy little bow with a big group hug.
Come on, group hug.
Aww. Until, in the final flashback, we discover that while Fry didn't cheat,
Phil's not much of a competitor.
Yeah, I know. But he's my son, and I love him.
his parents did.
And I want to give him a birthday that'll leave him feeling like a winner for once.
And it includes a classic Futurama montage that turns the episode on its head, this time set to Your Mum by Wet Leg. And the episode ends with a last lingering shot of a tearful Fry watching his friends leave, as his mom looks pleased, thinking she gave him a great birthday, while we know he was so deeply hurt by this that it still impacted him over 1,000 years later.
Weird. I was just repressing a memory of this.
At the start of the episode, there's a missed opportunity for Fry's dad to build him up before the games even start.
I'm not very good at games, Dad. I don't want to lose on my birthday.
By teaching him his value doesn't come from competition.
Oh, don't worry. Not everything in life is about winning.
But he doesn't stick the landing and ends up reinforcing Fry's fears instead.
But most things are. Almost everything.
Showing us a likely reason that Fry has those feelings in the first place. And then, at the end, we see there was another chance for Fry's parents to change course when his dad suggests that maybe a party centered around games isn't a great idea for Fry.
You really think a games party is a good idea? I mean, Phil's not much of a competitor.
But they go forward with the plan to cheat instead of figuring out a way to make the party less focused on competition. It demonstrates the fallibility of parents even with good intentions. While Futurama has explored a lot of complex emotional themes around the tragic part of Fry coming to the future and leaving relationships with his family unresolved, Quids Game gives the sentimentality a little bit more bite by showing the subjectivity of trauma and differing perspectives of the same memory. Again, to Fry's parents, it was a great party that made their son happy. To Fry, it was a formatively traumatizing experience. It's kind of like that one post that floats around sometimes about abusive family dynamics where the child talks about being abused and the parents don't remember it. And it's like, well, for you, it was a Tuesday. I really liked this episode, and I actually even liked the Squid Game parody more than I expected to. It's not too much of a direct copy of Squid Game, despite taking elements of the premise.
Let the gambling begin! 50 quids on the red team!
And it does make some funny little nods to the show, like the masks.
And I have two motivations, gambling and making these cool masks.
But more importantly, it doesn't take up so much time in the story that the other plotline can't breathe, which is a balance Futurama has been struggling to hit between A and B plots in recent episodes. Because it stands on its own so well, it doesn't feel instantly dated like the NFT and Bitcoin episodes, and the parody feels smoother and more integrated into the story than the Dune parody in Season 11. I also enjoyed the aliens.
It was we!
He meant us. It was us.
I don't know. I thought we sounded better.
And I kind of think they're based on the Telosians in the Star Trek episodes The Menagerie and The Cage. I mean, they definitely have a similar pink, big-headed design, and the technology is quite similar to the tech they used to hoodwink the Enterprise crew.
We must hide ourselves.
I was in a cage, a cell, in some kind of a zoo.
must still be there. They've reached into my mind and taken the memory of somewhere I've been.
It scours the minds of visitors for powerful memories of conflict.
Then recreates those conflicts.
But I haven't seen anyone else make the comparison even when I looked for it, so maybe I'm just imagining it. On the other hand, they sure do have a lot of other Star Trek references, so... One minor nitpick I have is that the actual methods that Fry's parents used to cheat were super obvious and bizarre without being detected somehow. Like, it's a cartoon, and the suspension of disbelief has a lot of mileage, but I don't know, something about this just felt particularly unbelievable. Like, they added honey to the Barrel O' Monkeys game, or Fry's mom threw a baseball through a crowded room so that it would be in the fridge for Fry to find, which also made the least sense for Gedgie to be upset about. Like, for Fry to have cheated, he'd have had to have found the ball in the first place to hide it in the fridge in between the time when Gedgie searched for it in the fridge and the time when he searched for it in the fridge. So he would have won anyways. I do like how this episode recontextualizes Fry and Gedgie's science fair feud in Cold Warriors a few years later in 1988.
If it isn't Grandmaster Flem, I heard you're entering the NASA science competition.
Maybe I am, LL Fool J.
Adding a little more depth to that drama retroactively and driving home that their relationship was irreparably damaged by this incident. It's very classic Futurama vibes and continues to expand the lore about Fry in a very meaningful way. It does also underscore why the One Amigo failed to do the same in terms of developing Bender's lore further and was really a missed opportunity. The other main nitpick I have is that in the future timeline, Leela was a bit out of character in this episode.
Come on, Fry! This was your house! Please!
She's generally pretty principled.
I'm sorry, but if it's fun in any way, it's not environmentalism.
And isn't typically one of the more desperate and cowardly among the crew, even in potentially deadly situations.
If I drop dead from exhaustion, make sure my body freezes in a dignified position. None of that huddled over for warmth crap.
It kind of feels like the writers are struggling with what to do with her lately, and I hope it gets better as this season continues. The episode had a lot of silly visual gags, including the silly store brands like the Iowayan Punch and Easy Brie. There were quite a few jokes that made me laugh, and it's always nice to have an excuse to feature the numerous classic Futurama side characters. This episode had so much of what I love about Futurama, and so I am pretty pleased with it. Although, if it's the best this season has to offer and they can only go downhill from here, that is a little bit concerning. So I do hope that there's at least some competition for best episode of the season. But that's all I have for you for now. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments down below. Which of the games were your favorite? Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Wiedersehen. And don't worry, I am still working on a few bigger projects as well if you're not a fan of Futurama or these shorter reviews. So stay tuned for those. Okay, bye!